Some mornings, everything seems normal. You wake up on time, your legs feel steady, and your mind is clear. But deep inside, there's a quiet space where something used to stir a sense of presence that's now missing. Not pain, not illness, just a subtle silence in a place you don't talk about out loud. You tell yourself it's probably just age or maybe a poor night's sleep. But the feeling lingers. And if you're like many men I've seen in my clinic, you've started to wonder if this silence down there is permanent, if the strength, drive, and spark you once had are gone for good. Let me be clear. What you're feeling isn't failure. It's a signal, a quiet request from your body for support, not medication or miracle tricks, but something simpler. One small food, backed by neuroscience, easy to find, gentle to use, powerful enough to wake up what time has dulled. If you've ever felt that quiet inside, type yes in the comments. And if you haven't subscribed, now's the perfect time. Because in the next few minutes, you'll learn why 1 cup of this fruit each morning may help you feel fully alive again. Most men don't realize when it starts. There's no announcement, no sharp signal that tells you things are changing. One day you feel fine, and the next you begin to notice that something feels off. Not just in your thoughts or your energy, but in the way your body responds down there. It happens slowly, almost silently. The morning rhythm becomes irregular. The inner drive softens. That familiar sense of strength begins to feel distant. You're still you, but your body no longer responds the way it used to. It's not painful, it's not dramatic, but deep down, you know something's changed. Many men assume this is just part of getting older. And yes, aging does play a role, but the real issue often begins with poor circulation. As your body produces less nitric oxide with age, your blood vessels don't relax the way they used to. This means blood flow to sensitive areas quietly declines, and that's where many changes begin. But circulation isn't the only factor. As the years go by, your brain may start to produce less dopamine, the chemical that gives you motivation, excitement, and desire. Without enough dopamine, even if blood is flowing, you may not feel the same internal spark. Add to that the effects of oxidative stress, the buildup of internal damage caused by age, poor diet, or stress, and your nerve endings start to lose their clarity. Messages from the brain to the body slow down. Signals become weaker. You may still want to feel alive down there, but your body isn't receiving the message. So this triple combination, lower nitric oxide, lower dopamine, and rising oxidative stress, creates the perfect storm. It's not your fault. It's not a personal failure. It's simply the biology of aging quietly interfering with how you feel as a man. The good news, you can support all 3 of these systems without medication. Nature has already created something that can reach deep into your bloodstream, your brain, and your nerves all at once. And in the next part, I'll show you exactly what it is. When most men feel something's off down there, their first thought is usually testosterone, and that's understandable. We've all seen the ads, the promises, the talk shows claiming that low testosterone is the reason men lose their spark. But that's only one piece of the puzzle, and often it's not even the first. In my clinic, I've met hundreds of men who tried hormone therapy thinking it would solve everything. Some felt a small change. Others felt nothing at all. And a few even felt worse, more agitated, more tired, more out of sync. Why? Because boosting testosterone alone doesn't always reach the systems that truly power male vitality. Here's what most people don't realize. Your sense of life down there isn't controlled by one hormone. It's a combination of 3 powerful systems working in harmony: your vascular health, your brain chemistry, and your nerve communication. If one of those 3 is off balance, no amount of testosterone will restore what you've lost. Think of it like a 3-legged stool. Blood flow is one leg, dopamine and brain signals are another, and the nerves that carry messages are the third. Take one away and the whole thing becomes unstable. You might still sit on it, but it won't feel right, and it definitely won't support you for long. That's why so many men with normal testosterone levels still feel disconnected, tired, or flat. They look fine on paper, but deep down they know something's missing. And that missing piece usually lives in the vascular neural axis, the quiet, complex connection between your heart, your brain, and your body's ability to respond. Once you understand this, everything changes, because now you're no longer chasing the wrong solution. You're targeting the foundation. And believe it or not, the food I'm about to show you helps support all three legs of the stool at once without the side effects or guesswork. Let's take a look at what science has uncovered about this humble fruit and why it may be one of the most overlooked tools for restoring strength and balance in aging men. If someone had told me years ago that I'd be recommending blueberries to support men's health, I probably would have smiled and moved on. But over the past decade, I've watched the science shift, and so have the results in my clinic. This small, deep-colored fruit does more than help your heart or your memory. It reaches the three systems that matter most when it comes to your energy, your drive, and yes, how your body responds down there. Blueberries are rich in flavonoids, particularly a type called anthocyanins, which give them that dark blue color. But it's not the color that matters, it's what those compounds do inside your body. According to a long-term study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, men who consumed high amounts of flavonoids had a significantly lower risk of erectile issues, especially when those flavonoids came from blueberries. But this isn't just about performance. It's about restoring blood flow, improving dopamine activity, and calming the oxidative stress that dulls your nervous system with age. Blueberries quietly help reverse the very damage that aging tends to accelerate. Let's break it down. First, blood flow. Anthocyanins help your blood vessels stay flexible and relaxed. They encourage your body to naturally produce nitric oxide, the same compound that opens arteries and moves blood where it's needed most. And that includes the quiet areas that don't get mentioned in polite conversation but are absolutely essential to how you feel as a man. Next, dopamine. Blueberries support your brain's ability to produce and respond to dopamine. That means better mood, sharper motivation, and the return of that quiet inner pull you may have thought was gone forever. Many men say they start thinking about their partner again, not just in their mind, but in a way that feels alive and real. Finally, nervous system repair. Oxidative stress acts like slow rust in your body. It wears down your ability to send clear, strong signals between your brain and your body. The antioxidants in blueberries help clean up that rust, allowing those messages to travel faster, clearer, and with more confidence. So what does all of this mean in plain language? It means that a simple cup of blueberries a day might not just be a snack. It might be the most natural way to support circulation, hormone balance, and nerve health. Three things every man over 60 needs to protect. And here's the best part. You don't need a prescription. You don't need to change your entire lifestyle. You just need a daily habit. Your body can trust something small that speaks the language of biology. In the next section, I want to share the story of Carl, a man who started with nothing but blueberries and a morning walk and found something he thought was lost for good. Carl was a retired firefighter from Michigan. He was 68, strong-willed, straightforward, and never one for fancy advice. When he walked into my clinic, I could tell he wasn't expecting much. He said, "Doc, I don't need magic. I just want to feel like myself again." He told me he hadn't felt that familiar rhythm down there in years. No pain, no panic, just a slow fading. "I'm not broken," he said. "I'm just quiet." That word stuck with me. Quiet, not defeated. Just waiting for something to wake up again. Carl had tried pills. Some helped a little, others gave him headaches or made his heart race. What bothered him more was how they made him feel like he was forcing something instead of reviving it naturally. He didn't want a shortcut. He wanted his body to remember what it once knew. I told him about blueberries. 1 cup a day eaten in the morning, followed by a short 15-minute walk. That's it. He raised an eyebrow. That's the plan he asked. I nodded. "Just give it 3 weeks," I said. "No pressure, no expectations." 2 weeks later, he called. Not to ask questions, but to tell me something had changed. "Doc," he said, "I woke up today and realized I'm back." He didn't go into detail. He didn't have to. His voice had weight again. His tone was lighter, even playful. The silence he once described had turned into a quiet hum. Carl said the biggest change wasn't physical, it was mental. He was thinking about his wife again, reaching for her again. He felt like himself again. "It's not like I'm 20, he laughed, "but I'm not invisible anymore either. That's the moment I knew it had worked." Not because a fruit cured him, but because it reminded his body how to respond. It sent a natural message to the places that had fallen asleep. It whispered, "You're still here, you still matter." Carl's story isn't rare. I've seen it dozens of times. Not miracles, not magic, just biology responding when given the right signal. And if one man's quiet return can start with one small habit, maybe yours can too. Most men think that if something is natural, it doesn't really matter how you use it. But that's not true, especially when it comes to foods that affect your blood flow, your brain, and your nervous system. The way you take them, how, when, and with what can change everything. Blueberries may be simple, but how you use them matters just as much as using them at all. Some men toss them into sugar-filled smoothies. Others mix them with cereal that's more dessert than breakfast. But doing it wrong can cancel out the benefits and leave you thinking they don't work. The rule I give my patients is simple. 1 cup a day, every morning, no skipping, no shortcuts. Fresh or frozen is fine. Wild blueberries are even better if you can find them. But if you can't, high-quality freeze-dried blueberry powder works too. Just make sure there's no added sugar. Mix it into plain yogurt, oatmeal, or a glass of water. Keep it clean, keep it natural. There's one more thing I ask. Add a small handful of almonds or walnuts. The healthy fats in those nuts help your body absorb the flavonoids in blueberries more efficiently. It's like giving your body a key that helps unlock the full power of the fruit. And then, right after breakfast, take a short walk. It doesn't have to be long, just 15 to 20 minutes of easy movement. This step is crucial. Because what blueberries activate inside you, especially nitric oxide and dopamine, needs movement to truly circulate. Without the walk, it's like turning on a faucet but never letting the water run through the pipes. When you combine these 3 things, blueberries, healthy fats, and movement, you send a strong, steady signal to your body. A message that says, wake up, connect, flow again. This is not about being perfect. It's not about going vegan, running 5 miles, or eating like a monk. It's about one small thing your body can rely on. Done consistently, it builds trust between you and your biology. And in the next part, we'll talk about what that trust creates. What really begins to shift when you do this for 30 days straight. When a man sticks to something simple for 30 days, something surprising begins to happen inside his body. It's not a loud transformation, it's not dramatic, but it's steady, real, and you feel it in quiet, unexpected ways. Men often tell me the first sign is energy. They wake up a little clearer, they don't dread the morning, they feel like they're stepping into the day instead of dragging themselves through it. That alone makes a difference. Because when your mind is awake, your body often follows. Then come the physical signs. Stronger signals from down there. Not forced, not perfect, just present again. That quiet hum you haven't felt in years suddenly shows up in the early hours. You don't have to chase it, it finds you, and it doesn't stop there. Many men say they notice sharper focus, fewer afternoon crashes, and a lighter mood overall. One patient told me, I started reading again. Finished 2 books this month. That hasn't happened in years. Another said, I looked in the mirror and didn't feel tired. I felt alive. This is what happens when circulation improves, when nitric oxide flows, when dopamine returns, and when your nerves start firing like they used to. It's not just about hormones. It's not just about what's happening down there. It's your whole system waking up and saying, I remember how to work. You're not just surviving anymore, you're re-engaging. That mental fog that felt permanent begins to lift. You don't need to be a different man. You just need to reconnect with the one you already are. 30 days of blueberries, healthy fats, and light movement isn't a cure. It's a reset button. And in many cases, that's all your body was waiting for, a gentle nudge, not a push, a message, not a demand, something consistent enough that your biology learns to trust you again. Too many men are chasing quick fixes, a new supplement, a strange tea, a secret pill with a flashy promise. But over time, these things break your trust, not just in products, but in your own body. And the truth is, most of them are aimed at the surface, while your real strength comes from deeper systems that need time, care, and consistency. Blueberries aren't a trick. They don't promise instant change. What they offer is a quiet daily message that your body recognizes. A message that speaks to blood flow, to dopamine, to your nerves. A message that says, you're still here. You still work. You still matter. This is the foundation. One cup, one walk, one moment each morning where you show up for yourself, not as a patient, not as someone broken, but as a man who hasn't given up. That's not a health tip. That's a mindset. Carl didn't find a miracle. He found his rhythm again. And every man I've seen succeed had this in common. Not perfection, not pressure, just a small act of trust repeated daily. You don't have to do everything. You just have to do something real. One thing your body can rely on, because healing doesn't start with more, it starts with better. If this message spoke to you, leave a comment below or share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you're ready, start tomorrow morning with one cup, one walk, and one quiet belief that it's not too late.